Okay, so we're going to get started. This is my first trading day back of the year. Realistically, I probably won't wind up trading today, but darn it, tomorrow it's going to happen. So I'm on the new contract, of course, March. I stopped trading a little bit before Christmas, took some time off, took a nice stretch of time off, which was great. And the issue with that is my chart's not marked up at all. So let's do it together now, and it'll give you guys a chance to see kind of what I'm looking at. Maybe help you plan out some spots you want to mark, or just get a little better idea of the structure of the market, as I see it anyway. So we're going to start here on the hourly chart. I like to start with the hourly chart, and we'll stretch it out a little bit. This is the March contract, I should say. All right, so where are we going to start putting some lines, some areas of structure, some areas that we're going to want to see if we're zoomed in on a smaller time frame chart, and just have that line there so we know that is a place of note. All I want is a horizontal line. Okay. So looking at this chart, it's pretty clear we need one here, 58.64. I'd like to drag this tool out here. It used to be able to do that. Oh, well, we'll just click it. I don't know how to use this really nearly as well as I should, but I don't use near all the capabilities this has, but it works well for me. So here I'm putting one because there's this. I'm not looking at the price scale at all right now. I'm just looking at the structure of the chart. Where does our next one go? We got this stuff here. Let's see where this aligns with over here. You know, I'm going to say there's almost like one ought to go here because of that. It holding there, and then resisting here, eventually popping up from there. So I'm going to say around here. I'm not looking at price at all, just looking at the chart. We got consolidation here. Do we have a line up here? Should have a line right here. And then I'm also kind of looking at this range here. So we got here, support, resistance, support. I'm going to put one here also. Okay, zoom out a little bit more. So this area here, I believe, should have something there. This is getting back into the earlier days of this contract back in September, but once it gets back here, it kind of falls off. But at least from here on in, we can kind of see, like from October on, the most relevant places. And we notice that our lines from current do extend back here quite a bit. Maybe we put one more down here. There we go. Oh, it didn't take. Put one more down around here, this area. Okay. And for now, that's good on the hourly. That gives me an idea of kind of the main turning points in the last while. Perhaps we may want to put one here, just because of this congestion, sort of support here, support there, support here. I might stick one there just to have it there. And then the way this works, the reason I do this really, I plan trades, not necessarily to and from these, but like these become my targets or my places to jump off from. And if I'm down on a 15-minute chart, I've got a 15-minute chart blown up, well, I can see where these places are. And as we see, here comes to that one, then to this one, then to that one, then back to this one, and then to that one, and then back to this one, and then back to that one, and then back to this one, and then down to this one, to there. It just gives me some idea of the structure of where price is tending to bounce off of, turn around at, and if I'm in a trade and I'm not necessarily shooting all the way for one of these lines, but if I'm in a trade in that direction, I know that may be a reasonable target, or I've got a place to go in that direction. Same thing, if price is coming down to a spot where it has turned several times recently, I'm going to watch and see if it might just turn there. So this is what it looks like in a 15. If we go down to a 5-minute chart, which a lot of people would day trade, okay, well then we see that we've got, potential support down here. that we should just keep in mind, right? And potential resistance up here, which we should keep in mind. And this line was found from further back, but price does happen to be at it right now, or just bounced off it. So it is kind of a lot of lines sometimes. If you look at it on a big chart, like a 4-hour chart, and it seems like, oh, we got a lot of lines here. But, this is larger picture. When you get down to a day trading chart, 2 minute, well, then you see, okay, we got something to look at up here. And, this is too big. I don't know, that keeps getting bigger. I don't want that so big. And then if we go like this, okay, well, we got something down here we may want to consider too. So this is all part of my normal morning preparation. Though I don't have to do the lines every day, but I check them every day and see if there's a new one that should be going on. The other thing I do without fail religiously is my cheat sheet. Now, whether or not it's necessary to do a cheat sheet, it takes extra time. And, this morning we've seen a big move down, which I have not been able to capture. I don't have my platform even on right now because I wasn't ready. I had to do my charts first. This will only have to be done once, and now it's ready to go. But unfortunately, I missed out on this. I may be able to, look for a place I can bounce from later today, but realistically, I'm just counting on starting tomorrow, but we'll see. In the meantime, I want to show you my cheat sheet. This is something I do every day without fail, and this is how it's filled out for today so far. So I've just got the key levels on here. It's on one sheet. I used to print these out all the time. Now I just keep an open copy like this on a screen in Excel. Just the basic stuff. Globex high, Globex low, Globex trend, previous day open, high, low, close, London open, London trend. Just information about where the market's been really in the last day and a bit. And having these numbers I find very helpful because a lot of the time I do have my charts up, but oftentimes I'm just looking at the quote board. And I get these numbers in my head. And I know that these levels are all places the market's likely to be drawn to or repelled from. In the kind of the sea of just random price going wherever it's going, it's most likely going towards some of these. And I can even see right now, like if we open up this, that's just out of interest, see how this line here that we drew earlier that didn't appear that it was going to go anywhere near it, well, bang, it's right there now. And it's consolidating right close to this. So, and this is not, this is something that was found. This is a live example for just what's happening today. That's something that we found from back here, right? From this, and this. And now here it is today. So that's why I put these on here. If I was going short this morning, the place I would first be looking for it to go would probably be right there as far as lines go anyway. Anyway, back to the cheat sheet. So the reason I put these down there is just to have familiarity with the numbers. I also make a habit of recording the price each hour. This is something that I was taught a long time ago. I still do it. I find it's very helpful. Just gives you at a glance an idea of what's happened. You can see it on the chart, but seeing the numbers is kind of a different thing. It helps ingrain it in your head. For me, I find it helpful to just have the numbers there because I see the numbers. I can relate the numbers to what's happening in my head. But in order to get this, you have to go and study your hourly chart, for the last couple of days. And you also have to go down further to say at least like a half-hour chart. Nobody uses that really, but say a 15-minute chart in order to get your specific open and close times and that. So this just means you're now going to have a good idea of what price did. You're going to study it a little bit, and you're going to see, what happened at certain times. You're going to have to go to your daily chart. If you have it set on TradingView, I use 24-hour as opposed to daily. 24-hour and then set to regular trading hours. This will give you your New York open and close as your bar on here, and it will also then show you gaps. But in order to fill this out, you have to go back and study what's happened in the last day or so, a little bit longer than that even, and that gets you familiarized with what's happening right now. It's very tempting to just sit down, open up a 2-minute chart, say, I want to take a trade. And all you see is this. Like, okay, I think I'm going to go along here or whatever. But you don't have any of that other context. It's really easy to do that. And then you think, okay, it's going to stop here. I got a line here, and now it's going to go along. Well, how's that going to work out? It might work, it might not, but you don't really have context of where price has been. Right now, price is at 59.72. Okay, that's below all this. So we're in uncharted territory. We must remember that. Let's go look at our hourly chart and see what places it could go next. Well, it could come down to 59.50 right here. This is kind of our next spot. Okay. If it were to turn, where would it be most likely to go? Where would be reasonable places for it to go? Let's go back here. Previous day, open, high, low, close. Previous day close, how about that? Because it's lower, 60.26. If it was to come up, that's definite kind of, possibility. Previous day low, 6,004. That's also a reasonable place it could go up to. New York open, 60.42. Maybe. You never know. But this gives you, between these lines and the most recent current levels, is generally what I will use for a lot of places to find out where a reasonable target would be. And you'll find if you do this and you watch this, very, very often these lines and those recent key levels are where price goes to and from. Not always all the way to them. It doesn't always stop right at them, but it goes to the region. And all these lines, they're all kind of a zone to me. It doesn't, I still don't even know what these are. I haven't looked at the actual values of them yet. But sure enough, they do fall in the typical places that I often wind up plotting them. The even hundreds, 20 to 25, 50, 75 to 80, and back to the hundreds. And what do we have for lines? We have one at 86, okay, one at 22, one at 48, so 20, 50, 80, 43, so close to 50, and the even 100. Those are areas that price is often drawn to and repelled from. It's like that in the currency markets too. I'm not too apt to do anything right now. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. At this point, I think we're either going to have a big down day, or what quite often happens is that we get it to stop at a spot and we get a bit of a rally later in the day, and we may wind up close to where we opened. We'll wait and see. Coming back to check in a little bit later on. So far, prices come right back up to hit yesterday's close, almost right to the tick. So that kind of thing very commonly happens, and that's why we plot them out. So I wasn't able to get in on any of this. I'm just really trying to get myself prepared to get back to normal tomorrow. But anyway, I hope this gives you guys a little bit of an idea where I'm coming from and why I plot these lines, and kind of give you the foundation that I start with before I start to, plan trades for the day and that sort of thing. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you found it helpful. We'll see you later.